Okay, say something again.
What's going on? You'd be happy to know that I haven't for like 2.5 weeks. So they didn't eat meat.
Oh, how you feeling?
Chill. I actually had a burger today though.
Oh, you
Well, because
son
a
of a...
friend was like kind of in town. I haven't seen him for a while, so he was like, "Want to get a burger?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure."
You,
But like,
you son
but
of
I went like literally like 2.5 weeks that I didn't eating kind of like Indian, like Thai, like that kind of stuff.
a...
Like
Yeah, how was it?
it's chill. Like I don't mind it. I mean, it's like tofu. It's kind of a replacement, you know.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying,
I'm
dog.
chilling.
That's what I'm trying to get at, though. Hello, everybody.
That's why I'm eating an apple right now. So I don't want to eat something else.
Yeah. I will be answering questions, and I will be focused specifically on the Facebook. So, for those of you who are chilling in any other stream, just go to our Facebook, which would be just I think there's two of our Facebooks. There's one on there's the Robotpencil one, and then there is my personal profile. We're off of my profile, homies.
Okay. I'll
So,
be. You want me to monitor that one then?
well, I have that one open on my little thing. What's up, guys? Hello, everybody. So, if anyone else is on YouTube or Twitch, just tell them.
Okay.
Tell them. Yeah, but otherwise, we're not gonna do this for too long. I plan on streaming for about half an hour at the most. Me and Kaylin have been talking about getting back into the swing of things, and I want to kind of do this. I want to kind of do like the short format streams again, and I think if we could just pick a day and just do them, that'd be useful. I mean, you know, a few things happened in that time, and it was hard. Which is I had a baby. I remember we did a couple streams with my baby, and there would be times where I just wouldn't be able to say anything paint anything because I had to hold my baby. And then I've been, doing some stuff for work. I've been doing some freelance. I just started classes at Brainstorm. So a lot of different things. But then everything's starting to settle down. One thing that I'm planning on doing is actually, because I'm getting a lot of freelance, and I kind of want to do a lot of work just to kind of get in the swing of like working again and just get some more experience. Working on different kinds of stuff. I'm working on like miniatures and cool stuff like that. It's actually pretty fun. And also working on game stuff.
Ooh.
But I was like learning coding too. That was taking a lot of my time. And so I think now that I have a little bit of leeway, and then what else is going on? Oh yeah, I was doing some other stuff, some personal stuff, try to get taken care of. But right now I think I'm good. I think I can start. Streaming again. And one thing that
When are you not balancing stuff?
yeah,
You're not balancing 5 things at once.
yeah. And I think now when I get back into it, I've had a new life's mission. It's always been kind of my main goal to be a heavy hitter in the world of education, but I wanted to impact in a larger way, if that makes sense. And for me, I've discovered that there's a much more powerful calling that I'm trying to reach out to, and
you should stop the hurricanes. How about that?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. It's insane. Yeah, but I've been getting into politics and all that stuff. But then one thing that came to my attention just recently, we can talk about a little bit. But before we do, Kaylin, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to be back on a stream. I think Thursdays can work. Thursdays, I usually have soccer later on.
If we could do like once a week, right? That's all. I think once a week is good. We have always aimed try to do aim once a week, but the problem before, we never had a set day. We were just like, go for it, and I'll just do it whenever I could.
Now that I work like full time, it's kind of hard because I don't get home until like 7ish. So I mean, if you're down to go around like later in the night, then we can definitely do it like around 7 or 8. But it's hard because I have a night class now, which kind of messed me up. I forgot about that. Like I just started a night class at the Academy of Arts like Monday, Wednesday, and then Tuesday I go to soccer. And I need to get my exercise. So Thursday soccer is not until like 8:30. So I mean, like this time, like at 6:30, I can be home by then and be chilling. So I just have to like not play Street Fighter at work. Like I usually play Street Fighter after work. So
okay.
I can sacrifice Street Fighter time to do some stream time, help you out.
Yeah, I've decided to teach only one class in October as a way to balance out time. and I think that will work. And then I can teach uh, once, and then I'll do some uh, master planning, and one of them is streaming. Streaming, yo. But
How's that drive to Brainstorm? You driving to Brainstorm?
I took the train. Yeah, screw that.
Oh,
But I might drive because there is like a long, like, train ride. Yeah, it's not great.
I love the train ride though, because that means you don't have to worry about it. You can like look outside and then you can draw and like read book or
Sure.
sleep. I love train rides because you don't have to, or I like when other people drive.
Yeah, it's a long train ride. But it's like 2 hours, and I have to wait like another 2 hours to even board the train. That's the next problem.
Oh, really?
So it's not necessarily, yeah. Like, I don't mind train rides.
Fly.
Yeah, you know what?
You fly from John Wayne to Burbank.
I never thought about that. Is there really flights that go from that short of a distance?
I bet there has to be. I bet you there is.
That'd be kind of silly if they did.
Just buy a helicopter, bro.
Yeah, maybe. But
Kobe
driving
Bryant does.
driving can work. Yeah, Kobe Bryant lives in Irvine, doesn't he?
Yeah, lives in Newport. He doesn't. When he used to play for the Lakers, he would take a helicopter to their
Dang,
place in Carson or whatever. I forget what the train facility is. He took a helicopter. He's like, F that. I mean, like he used to drive, and then eventually he was like, "Nah, I'm buying a helicopter." And he just bought a helicopter.
Dang. Baller.
That's what you gotta do, dude.
You said
Get a
Mike's
helicopter.
Mike's in here?
Yeah.
Is he? I don't hear him talking.
I can't hear him either.
I don't think he is talking. That's probably why.
Michael, what's up? Where are you?
If you're talking, we can't hear you, obviously. And if you're
Yeah, I can't
just
hear him either.
chilling, then
Dang,
that's
I just
cool
ate an
too.
apple, and this thing's like already freaking done. Like you already painted this shit up.
Yeah, I try to paint as fast as Kaylin can eat an apple. That's actually the metric in which I
How you
I
measure
tap.
time?
Yeah, I'm like,
You're
okay,
like-
how many apples?
Does it take to go to Burbank?
No, yeah, how many apples? Not just how many apples does it get to Burbank. Like, how many apples does Kaylin need to eat before I get to Burbank?
Ooh,
I think
Carlo Arellano's in here. What's up, Carlo?
Hey, what is up,
That's the
Carlo?
senpai right there.
Senpai?
Senpai.
Senpai, we're not worthy.
You're not worthy of senpai. Shout outs to Vanglory. Shout outs to Super Evil Mega making
Yeah.
that MOBA. You guys
Yeah,
are
it's
killing.
really good. It's a really
Did I
good
tell you the
game.
story of what happened? Like, this is how you know Carlo like keeps it real. Like, my first day of class, I couldn't teach at the academy, so I already had a previous like thing to do. So Jacqueline Johnson like subbed my class, but she didn't have like the she didn't have the rubric or like the syllabus.
Uh-huh.
So she gave him like this hard, like the first week, she's like, all right, I want like 6 paintings in color, like off of this theme, and I want you to do like a 3D block out and paint over it.
Uh-huh.
So I come in the following Wednesday, and people were like, dude, I'm sorry, like I didn't know Maya, I know it was due, like I didn't, they're like kind of freaking out, like I was gonna be mad, and I was like, whoa, like what did you give me to do? And it was like it's week 1. I'm like, dude, he's like, are we? It's like, do you have to learn Maya? And I'm like, we're not gonna get into 3D. Like this is a beginner class. We're not gonna do that till like week 8. But there was one girl that actually did it. Like it was a lot of work too. It's like it was on Monday, and she came in like the following, like 2 days later, had it all there. And I was like one of Carlo's interns, and she was like, I didn't know at the time, but she was like, I did it. So it took me a long time, and I was like, oh, like goddamn, it's serious. And then I later find out that she is one of Carlo's interns, and I was like, oh, that would probably do it.
And then Carlos is like, Carlo was like, okay, so what was your homework assignment? And she's just like, oh my God, seems like a lot. Oh yeah, you better do it. And she's just like, what? Let to do this? Yeah, that's Kaylin. If you don't do it, I'll find out.
I'd be scared. I'd be like, oh my God, like, but she did it. Like that's how I know that Carlo forges warriors, man, because that's a lot of work to do. Even I wouldn't do it. And then it's funny that he came in, like, I couldn't teach again the following weeks. I still have my prior engagement. But I guess Carlo was in the back of the room, and like no one knew who he was apparently. Because I went in the following week, and I was like, "Yo, did y'all see Carlo?" And they're like, "Who?" And I was like, "Y'all are idiots." I was like, that means like Craig Mullins could be in the room one day. You're not even gonna know who it was. You know what I mean? I was like, you guys gotta
Yeah.
know like what the artists look like. I was like, because there was an art director in your class today, and you guys didn't know.
Yeah. Was
Missing out on opportunities, like me with Chris Metzen that one time.
the legendary Chris Metzen. Yeah, AJ, I met this guy. He works at Blizzard. He's like the creative director. He's a pretty nice guy. I don't know if he's important though. His name is Chris Metzen. Chris
Again,
Metzen.
how was I supposed to know? I don't play Blizzard games, and he says his name. Said he's been there for
No,
like
it's fine.
15 years, and I'm
It's
like,
just funny. Yeah, it's fine. That's like if I don't know if the pro Street Fighter player would walk up to me, like would I know? Like,
yeah,
I
but
would
then
have
again,
no
that
clue.
Pro Street Fighter player isn't like a billionaire. But I mean, just goes to show. I mean, I told my students, I'm like, this goes to show you never know who you might meet, and the way that guy acts, Chris Benson, you would never guess that guy like owns like the company and is like a billionaire because he was such a chill dude.
Yeah.
So just you just never know who you might meet.
I mean, like if you like the owner of the Lakers, like if something like that, or like, you know what I mean? Like, there's always going to be some person that is like super epic that you might run into and you wouldn't know. Like for instance, you know Philip DeFranco, right? Yeah, I ran into him at E3 one year. And
Yeah,
this
that was
is
the year that was there. We had
yeah,
we took a picture.
that was a long time ago. I didn't really know him exactly.
Guys.
I just remembered he was
Guys,
what the
What?
is it
Michael?
working?
Yeah, it's working now.
Dude,
Yeah,
I've been working this whole time trying to get this. I'll put it on Push Talk.
Yeah, Philip DeFranco's big now. I love his show.
he was big then too. It's just
Yeah, he's
that
big then.
we just like I just knew he was a popular YouTuber. I like he was popular enough that I knew what he looked like. I just didn't remember his name. But now like I think back like, dang, that's crazy. He's huge now, and he's one of my favorite YouTubers. Like
Yeah,
I watch
love
his
I love
YouTube
news.
his YouTube video pretty much every day. His little what is it? The PTS? Is that what it's called? Or PST or whatever?
I don't know.
Or
It's like
PS
whatever daily news.
PSA?
Yeah.
PAS? I don't know. Just his daily YouTubes. Yeah.
I like that. I like that channel. I like the fact that he stopped taking like like funding or whatever, so now he can like do his own thing.
Yeah, man. It's really cool. So what's up, Mike?
What up, man?
Oh, guys.
All
My
right.
mic's probably gonna sound a little weird.
Sounds normal? Sounds the same as it always
Yeah,
has?
sounds fine to me.
When I was testing it, it's only.
Oh, it is starting weird now. You're cutting out.
Yeah, you're so weird, dude. You need to stop.
Well, I'm gonna worry about it later. I gotta fix some stuff. But yeah, what's up, guys?
What up, man? How goes it in Seattle?
It was good. I got sick again for 4 days. Had
Ew.
flu symptoms, but I'm just glad it's not like deadly. So
Doing
I'm
that.
feeling pretty good right now.
Okay, you doing that healthy eating stuff as well? You pulling the AJ?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Get it. Get healthy. Get healthy.
Yeah, I
I
started
was telling
like,
AJ, I've been,
drawing
like,
and working at
kinda,
code
like,
again.
Part vegan for the past like 2 weeks, or just now. I
Oh,
broke
yeah?
my streak today, but
That's cool, man.
Nice.
yeah, I've been chilling, just like cooking vegetables and stuff. Or Jacqueline's been cooking it, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, I've been chilling. Like I didn't like have any withdrawals or anything. I didn't think I would, but
The hardest thing to get, like I felt the same way, to be honest. The hardest one to, oh my gosh, are you okay, Julian? Hey, that's why you don't run so fast. You all right? He like ran full speed into the bathroom with his socks, and we have hardwood floor, and he just fell on his shoulders.
Ooh, that hurts.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I saw him. Just,
That's a hard one. That's
but
rough.
he's a tough kid. He's just like, I'm good.
Yeah, happens.
He falls all the time, so he's used to it. And I've taught him to not freak out every time he falls.
I saw Delala got her camera. I'm happy to hear that.
Dude, she loves it.
Heck yeah.
She loves it.
Good. Yeah. Gotta spoil my little niece.
Yeah, she loves you for sure.
Yeah, I
When
love
you were
her.
here, she kept on like asking for you to come hang out more.
Yeah, I know. I gotta make it out there. After seeing Delilah,
hold
I was
on.
like, man, I gotta be out there now.
Hold on,
Hang
sweetheart.
with my niece.
Sweetheart, can you close the door? I'm streaming. Can you close the door for me, please? Thank
Tell
you.
her I say hi and I love her.
You can wash your hands here. Yeah, it's fine. Just close the door, please. Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell her. Oh my god, John.
That sounded epic.
He grabbed the stool and he just dragged it. Anyway. Yeah, yeah, so the hardest part to eliminate is the dairy.
Yeah, I will definitely admit that there were some days that I did. There were some things that did have some dairy in it, but for the most part, we've been pretty like 100%.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, man. Like dairy is actually one of the worst things. Like for realsies. Like you can like I even encourage people if they continue to eat meat products to eat turkeys. You know, specifically for health, right? Like if you're gonna just try to stay healthy, then you got to stay on the lean. You got to eat the lean stuff.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of tofu. I've been trying to avoid the. Anytime we go out, we'll definitely try to do that now. But I think there has been maybe 2 times where there's definitely kind of been some dairy involved, and I'm kind of like, eh.
Yeah, moderations in terms of changing it out is ideal, right? Like you don't want to go full throttle because then you're not going to sustain.
We haven't been. I mean,
okay,
we're trying to do it like it just happened. Like we didn't try to like do 2 weeks. It just kind of happened. Like we just kept.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, we kept meal prepping, and all of a sudden we're like, oh, I guess it's been like 2 weeks, huh? So, like, we've been trying to do like the weekends to be a time where if we want to, but even then we don't go overboard. So it's kind of like, yeah. So it just kind of happened like that. Like we just kept meal prepping, and then all of a sudden like 2 weeks went by, and we didn't realize it. So I was like, all right. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just trying to take it slow. I'm just trying to have some fun with it. I mean, feel better. Like I feel a little more energetic. So
yeah, that's good.
I'm trying to. I want to get back. I'm trying to get back to my soccer. So that's why I was like, now that I'm getting like my ankles feeling better, like I'm just playing harder, and then I'm like, yeah, like I can't be carrying on this weight. Like I have to drop at least like maybe 10, 15 pounds if I want to be able to play at a high level again. So,
there it is.
So that's a motivation right now, is to just get better at soccer.
Well, also if you start to switch over, you'll have more carbohydrates, and you'll be carb loading basically. So you'll have more energy in the field.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Trying to
go on that pro,
knock people out.
Go to that pro level. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool, man. How about you? How are things with your health? I know you were going through some stuff too. Mike's.
Oh yeah. So I've been actually pretty good. Sick.
What?
Yeah. Never mind.
My mic doesn't work.
Well, it's just like as you're talking, it's just like, and then we're like, and then
I move stuff in my room, so my mix amp settings are off. I need to go in and fix them.
Okay.
You're yelling. Why are you yelling, huh?
Yeah.
I thought that might help.
Weird.
No, I don't think it.
He's far away, but he's yelling. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like just get closer.
I'm just gonna hang out in the background.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
We recently got at our work. We recently got a PS4, a dedicated PS4. And because I was here working on a fighting game, and we put all the fighting games on there. So I was playing the day before I had to leave, and then we got a new printer, and so I was like, I get to print out my artwork, and I was like, oh snap! I love printers. When you get like a nice printer, and then you can start printing out your work and putting it on the wall. I was like excited.
Okay.
But I was super excited to get some. Like they bought brand new sticks, brand new like fight controllers, and I was like, all right, who wants some in Street Fighter?
So you're in studio now, then? Is that what's going
Yeah,
on?
I'm in the studio.
Cool.
Like not all the time. Sometimes I can work from home if I need to, but I'm moving. I think I told you that I'm moving.
That's right, because like the landlord was like, "You move out now, right? We'll give you money. You get out of here." And you're like, "What?"
Yeah, pretty much. They gave us our first part of the rent or whatever, or the first part of that relocation. So we're moving and gotta get all that stuff set up. So I gotta do it at the time. I've been kind of stressed out. So I'm kind of having to get like Comcast ready because I have my mentorship on the 11th, and I move on the 1st. So I have to really make sure that everything is set up that I can do tests, so that way the mentorship can go no problem. So that's why I'm kind of like gotta be on it. But everything's good. So chilling at home and or chilling at work. Work's going good. Playing some fighting games every once in a while, so it's up my alley at least. Like it's good for me. I get to go and body some people in Street Fighter and play our game and get bodied in that game. Because I am not good at platform fighters, let me tell you. I'm like trying to practice like after work. 'Cause I hate losing. You know me. I'm getting beat by people, and I'm like, oh hell no. So now I'm trying to like play our game and like practice stuff all the times.
Yeah. So I think I could take like a few questions, and but before I do,
search through them or what's up?
yeah, if you guys have questions, please ask. If you already asked a question, just ask again, so that way we make it easier. And I'll enter a few, and then I gotta get going. Got dates. I want to go get some dinner, go watch a movie.
Let's see. Questions.
But before you do,
okay.
I wanted to talk about this thing. So, as you know, I've been getting more and more involved with politics and stuff, and I started to listen more and more to right and more conservative leaning speakers, just because I've been trying to remove that echo chamber that I knew I was living in. I was absolutely living in one, and it made me come to this realization that I need to do a little bit more for, like, you know, the underprivileged communities, you know. And I was trying to think, like, because even right now, like, Delilah's going to school and stuff like that, and like I'm just like, oh my gosh, education system's garbage, you know. It's nothing, not to their detriment. It's just how the system is. We just need a better system. So, for instance, you know, I just heard today, like, you know, there's a lot of complaining about, oh, you know, we can't have single parents. Just we can't afford it. Just can't afford it, bro. Oh, we can't have free college. We can't afford it, bro. And then, like, they're like $80 billion for military, yo. Like 80 billion more, I believe, or like it was 40 billion more, roughly, what Trump was asking for. And if you do the math, the money that they gave permission to, like, if they would have just gave the minimum that was asked for the military and then took the extra they just, for whatever reason, just gave it to them, okay, they could have had universal education in the States. And I'm just kind of like, that's cool. Like, everyone freaks out whenever people start talking about this. But
yeah,
then,
but have you been in an F-16 before? It's so tight.
Oh yeah, I heard, like, the newest one, right? The one that they're planning on buying.
Yeah, that costs money, man.
Is enough to pay off the student debt in America. So, pay off student debt, get a new F-16.
But I want
Duh!
Avengers, like the Avengers helipad.
Yeah, it's just really frustrating, man. And it's very clear to me that legislations and this is going to be slow turning, right? Like, this is not going to move quickly. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be subtle changes over the many years. Now people are woke bay, you know what I mean? But it's come to my conclusion that I'm going to use the free market because the free market is a more conservative way of thinking of the solutions to these problems. Now, I still generally don't think there's a good alternative for the health industry, but for the education, I do believe there's one. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, my wife was talking to me.
She's like, "Honey, shut up."
She's telling me the baby's coming in soon. And so I was thinking, you know, I have this business where I teach online and I teach people how to become artists, and more like, you know, higher tier, and there's a cost to that. You know, very affordable tutorials, a reasonable cost mentorship, and then now I've created the club, right? But I'm like, but you know what I should do now? Because I'm sustainable, right? I do freelance, I work on these different projects, I also teach, and I have all this extra time, and I've been using most of the time teaching my kids, you know, learning programming, these types of things. And since I'm learning programming, I'm like, and specifically web coding, I'm thinking, you know, I was planning on making games, and I actually still want to do that. Or I talked to the other Kalen, White Kalen, about it, and we have some plans. Because I want to create more sustainability if I can, right? To follow this larger passion that I'm going to make my next life passion, which is basically create a free educational platform for creative minds. I'm going to start with art, you know, because that's what I do. But completely free. So Khan Academy, but like for art. Does that make sense? Are you guys there?
Yeah, I hear you. Sorry,
Okay.
I was on mute.
Just so profound.
Stupid. Just turn off.
Stupid. Yeah.
Get my F-16 chat. See you later.
Yeah, and I think that's really like because then the competition for like education and all that stuff. I think there's already a lot of great education online. To be honest, there's tons of it. You know. So if I just can build like a website that's like just gamifies it, quantifies it, that'd be good. And it could just all on the sense of a business strategy, it would just piggyback off of what I've already built, and it'll just be the free component of my school, and it would be catered to younger kids, like kids that are, because like I've been looking into like statistics of like stuff like affirmative action, and it's just not as great as it was supposed to be, you know. And I understand that what it's supposed to try to do, but the problem is it's not fixing the original issue. You know what I mean? Which is that these kids have like a poor education from the get-go, but just terrible luck from their childhood. So if there's a way I can reach out to these inner cities and smaller communities and rural areas with like some access to a very simple website that is mine, then they can learn for free entirely everything that they would need to know to get started as a concept artist. And everything else will just be, my mentorships and my tutorials will just be added flavor. Not necessary, but, something that people can still invest in if they like. Does it, which is already how it is. And I already do streams, right? But if I can create like a genuine platform, I think that'll be more useful instead of me just throwing rants all the time. Because these politicians don't give a fuck, dude. They don't care, right? Only maybe one or two of them really care, but they're outnumbered, And so, yeah, I'm thinking this is what I'm gonna do, and I think I can make it happen. I told myself once that I wanted to be, a concept artist, and if I just do everything I can, I'm sure I will do that. And it happened, and I said to myself, I bet if I wanted to teach and do my own thing, I bet I can do that. And then that happened, and then I said, I bet I can work from home and help raise my kids with my wife. Then I was able to do that. So I feel like if I could put my mind to this, and I'm very serious about it, I think I can do this too. And so I just wanted to put that out there and just let people know that's happening. I posted about this actually about a year or two ago about how I was really adamant about that, but I think I was just still in transition. I think now I'm in a good place to start to make this start to happen. And yeah, I think it's important. And what will be great about this platform is as long as people have access to the internet and access to my site, you can learn, right? And it could be international, so it could help a lot of people around the world. And the goal would be to educate people creatively in a pragmatic way, meaning that there's an end goal of some realistic lessons and tools that actually train someone to be a useful, creative individual that would get paid for that in the future. It would be like the STEM program, but for arts. If that makes sense. And I would fund it. It would just be me. I'll just do it myself.
Yeah, the world, I see you.
Yeah, it's going to take some time. I'm sure it'll take me a few years, or even more. But it's fine.
We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, and then once I do that and it's super successful, then I'll run for president. Right? That's how it works. and then I'll just run for president. Yeah, right. That's true. No, that'll be the first executive order. You go back to the old times where people can wear white wigs.
You can't wear hats, so you're gonna have to show your head.
My bald head.
Trust bald people, man. They think you're Lex Luthor.
That's true. Unless I'm The Rock, right? I think The Rock could have a good.
I think The Rock is probably like the only bald guy I really trust.
You can trust. What about Vin Diesel?
I feel like he would just answer things like in that voice where it's like it's not about how hard you drive, but how fast you got there.
It doesn't matter if you win by a mile or you win by an inch. Winning's winning.
Yeah, I think that would be all of his responses to anything. It would just be like weird, like parables that don't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's not about the fight, but how hard you punch when you're fighting. You're like, what? That didn't make any sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I would never want to do that. It's too like It's too much pressure. Yeah, I just want to focus on the only individual thing that I would be doing well at.
I try to do that.
Yeah.
By the way, the Destiny 2 art that came out, people posting stuff, and holy shit. Georgie posted some stuff.
I haven't seen
Shout
any
out
of
to
that.
Anton. Yeah, I don't know. I just saw it on like Facebook today. People been dropping some stuff.
All right,
So stoked for that
Question time? Are we finally doing this?
Michael.
game.
He just comes in. I so stuff.
I want to play the game.
Then buy it, mother.
I did buy it on PC.
Then what's the problem?
I gotta wait
What? You said you bought it.
October.
I like this version of Michael.
Yeah, because it sounds like he's so far
Yeah,
away.
never
Did
fix
you-
your
did you- Is it downloading?
You will become a new caricature for these like live streams.
Yeah, I just hear him in the back like, gross. I'm like, what?
You're like the hype man. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Start taking questions.
yeah. Let's take 2 questions. Take the
It's
2.
weird because like he's yelling.
best
but it's
questions.
So soft. It's like a soft yell. It kind of weirds me out.
Yeah. If you can find 2 of the best questions, I'll answer them. And then
All right, I'll
we'll
let Mike do
move
it, and then you can read it.
I don't want to find the questions.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Then the first 2 questions that seem reasonable to you. You don't have to go through every single
Okay.
one.
Let's see. Okay, this is one I just saw right now. Jordan O'Neill wrote, "I remember one time you said you were looking for like they were gold or something
What?
like that."
You cut out.
Okay, someone said, "I remember one time you said you and a friend were looking for new artists like they were gold." Like I guess it's really rare to find new artists. It says, "Were you looking for artists to just influence your style, or did you do actual painting studies based on the artists you found?"
Yeah, I think I know what he's referring to. I was saying it in the sense of like digging for gold, right? You dig in the mountains for days, weeks, months, years. There's gold in them hills type of attitude, right? Because sometimes people will look online for art that's very easy to find, right? The very first few artists that are very popular, easy to like access. But I would keep digging, like a miner, like digging for gold. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't just stop at the little parcels of gold. I would keep going until I hit the mother lode. And so I would find one artist, and I said, well, who is this artist influenced by? And then I'd find who they were influenced by, and then I would find who they were influenced by, and then that's when I would stumble upon some really amazing artists like Yefim. Yeah, I think it's Yefim. Or no, Johann Georges Wiebert, or Wiebert Georges. Do you know who that is? Exactly, you
Yeah.
don't know who that is. You know, that's my point. And so, you know, I would say dig. And that's kind of what I was referring to. And yes, I'll do all sorts of stuff like study, collect artwork, whatever was going to help me become better. Next question.
Okay. Let's see. I guess we're going to see right now. Well, someone said, "Why no Twitch?"
Oh yeah, it's on Twitch.
Oh, okay. Well, we're on. I guess we're on. Oh yeah, I should have read that we're. Oh, I should have went to Twitch and said we're not taking questions on Twitch. Forgot about that. My bad. Sorry, Michael. Handle it. What? All right,
What?
All right, last question. Then I gotta go.
Twitch. It says, "Y'all working with 3D sculpting programs often?" Question mark. I'm looking to practice with Mudbox, but I'm not sure on good beginner projects. Any suggestions?
I'm not sure about Mudbox. I think Mudbox is going out the window. Like literally, they're discontinuing it, or they already have.
Just like Silo.
Yeah, Silo, but you know, Silo's the best. People keep hyping up Blender, dude. It's all about Silo. With that being said, for beginner projects, the best strategy is just to pick a thing and just practice it. Like do something simple, but like start off with like a boxed object. It's like some sort of, like I saw like an artist like Vaughn. He started with like a Nintendo controller. That's really good. That's clever. And then move on to something a little bit more interesting or a little bit more challenging, like maybe like some sort of stopwatch or like a Rolex, you know, like something that's a little bit more, it's organic but has hard surface. And then do like more organic type sculpting and so forth and so on. Do different animals and creatures and muscle groups. But depends on what you're interested in. So if you're interested in hard surface, then the first options would be helpful. And then if you're interested in more organic, then do like the animal stuff. Oh, little baby. He wants to go to bed. But that's my advice. And I would say do 3D Code. 3D Code seems a lot more powerful. I see Blender actually can do a lot of great stuff. So I don't know. I would even suggest start using Blender, you know? But with that being said, guys, I'm bouncing out. Thanks, Kalen. Thanks, Mike. Next time I'll do a little bit longer. Just I wanted to go on a date with my wife. Haven't gone in a while.
Where are you gonna go?
Just go watch a movie and then get some food. That's pretty much it. But gotta go now. Laters, y'all. Thanks everybody for showing up.
Have a good night.
And peace out.